The fabulous bridge in Mostar at the south of Bosnia was built almost 500 years ago by the Ottomans. It was something very special at that time that was rare in its own way. During the Bosnia-Croat conflict at the time of the disintegration of Yugoslavia and the bloody Bosnian War, the bridge got totally destroyed by the Croatian army. After the end of the war, plans were raised to reconstruct the bridge. The commitment of UNESCO and the additional funding provided by some countries were crucial for the reconstruction. More than 12 million euros were necessary to give the bridge the original look. I became aware of Mostar mainly through this video from Red Bull. I know, these are professional divers, but still, while watching that video I got the urge to try it out. As I'm trying to change a lot of things in my life lately, I didn't want fear to hold me back from challenges. To get prepared for discomfort, I drove from Sarajevo to Mostar at night and spent the night for the first time in my life in a car.
I have just arrived in Mostar after a night in the car for the first time. The night was freaking cold. I almost froze, man. We finally made it to Mostar. Just look at the view.
It was actually the worst night that I had for a long time. But it was a reminder to myself to be grateful for having a roof above my head that protects me from the cold. Therefore, it was a good lesson, and I appreciate it even more as I got to check in. This yellow house right here, yes, this one was mine for 2 nights. After I catch up some sleep, I went out to explore the city in the early morning and realized that this place that is actually full of tourists still had a lot of scars. The more I walked through the city, the more destruction I got to see. It seemed that the city is more populated by tourists than by civilians. I walked for hours until I met this young man with whom I had an interesting talk with.
Ich arbeite in Düsseldorf, Oberhausen.
Wow, wann? 60er?
Oh, früher 40 Jahre.
40 Jahren?
Ja, aber 13 Jahre arbeitet. 70er Jahre anfangen und dann bis 88 Jahre.
Zurück?
Zurück.
Und dann Krieg hier?
Ja, und Krieg, ja. Scheiße.
Wie war der Krieg hier, wenn ich fragen darf?
Meine Sohn ist kaputt.
Još jezi kada nije zabrao.
Neću nikad.
Ja, čuo sam, ja.
Meine Frau ist tot. Die sagen, meine Sohn. Die Herz.
Ist der Sohn gestorben im Krieg?
Scheiße, Krieg. 311 die Leute das hier.
311?
Ja. 311 hier. Diese Schäde.
Warum kehren Sie nicht nach Deutschland zurück?
Aha, keine Lust. Besser hier leben. Deutschland, Arbeit, schlafen. Schlafen, morgen früh aufstehen. Den Finger.
Oh ja.
Ovo je sve vidio. 93. Sve ovo 93. Sve ovo pogledaj, vidiš.
93. Jahre, das ist hier alles kaputt.
Alles?
93. Sve, evo.
93 Jahre.
Hier sind nicht mehr viele Muslime, oder?
Haben aber alle gehen weg.
Gehen weg.
Deutschland, Duisburg, Amerika.
Evo, 93 jedno. Evo.
Ja.
Sve to izgledalo 93.
It's actually pretty high. So high, actually. I'm going to do it in the next 5 hours, maybe. I just came here to, be mentally prepared for what's going to happen. So I'm pretty excited, but also very afraid.
Every one of us has a certain amount of fear of heights. And to be honest, I have to admit that as a child, I was extremely afraid of heights. When I first learned to swim in the pool at the age of 9, since I had never swam to that point, I saw some children jumping down from 3 meters and 5 meters. I thought they were insane, but they seemed to be having fun and I just couldn't understand it. But as a child you want to belong, even if that's not always a good thing. But in this case it was helpful for me to overcome my fear. This moment reminded me of my old self and gave me both fear and courage. On the one hand, I didn't want to hurt myself, and on the other hand, I didn't want to let my fear win. The more it got closer, the more I got nervous. I went out and tried to talk to people on the streets with the hope to hear the right words to reduce my fear, but I had to find out that my fear was justified.
Just only be careful when you go under the... Like wind hits your back when you fall under the...
But
See how is it right under the... See those stones? And when you jump, you will fall. And as soon as there is no stone, you will get hit by the wind.
by the wind.
Yeah.
What should I do?
It's not that windy today, so I don't think it will be like that much of a force. Just like hold your body tough, I think. Should be fine.
Hey buddy,
Hey man,
going to jump. Never jumped before, sorry.
you're going to jump.
Going to jump.
When?
No. I don't know. Never jumped before.
You tried.
No, I'm going to practice now. The highest one was like 10 meters. Have you ever jumped from the bridge?
No, that's my fear. I can't fight with. The only one fear I can fight with. Height.
Let's try it together, man.
Just be careful because too many tourists lost their lives jumping.
You're serious?
I'm serious, and there is this summer,
Yeah.
guys from the boats. They saved the guy from drowning. Because I'm telling you this, it's really dangerous to jump from the bridge. It's not like it cannot happen anything to you. It can.
Oh my
It can
god.
happen something to you.
Bro.
But if you are afraid of height and you want to fight the fear, go bungee jump. That's more safe than this.
I came to you to get some encouragement, and you are making me more afraid than I
Yeah,
am.
I have to make you more afraid because it's not necessary to jump from the bridge. If you want to fight fears, man, do something else. But this river is wild. This is not the sea. This is not the lake. This river is really wild. This is mountain river. You know. So many rocks, and every year someone dies in this river. I just want all the best. I wish you all the best for you, but I have to tell you this. You have to jump. You have to know the facts. You know, you are jumping on your responsibility. When you stay alive, you're really brave and lucky.
Lucky?
Yeah.
Okay, shit, okay.
Because you did it.
Yeah.
This is tradition. This is Mostar tradition. Not many tourists jump, man.
Hey buddy, see you.
Have a good time.
Yo,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye.
Ciao.
Oh, I just want to capture the moment because these guys were the one who encouraged me to jump.
Break some bones, possibly.
Thank you guys. Thank you. Oh my god. I'm actually pretty afraid.
I was nervous and I had always had thoughts of not doing it, but it was already there, and who knows if I would ever come back to this place. So it was clear.
I want to jump.
Okay. Do you have experience with jumping?
Like the highest thing was 10 meters.
Okay. Look,
Can we make it?
it's up for you, you know.
I want to jump, but this is the reason why I come to you.
Yeah. Down there you have platforms. Now it's like 5 meter, 10, 11 meter, and the top one is 15, 16. You can try. Everybody can try.
Yeah.
You know, but if you don't have experience, that's not good because nobody cannot learn for one day. In this book, some people never jumped from any height and do the jump. But most of them jump before 15, 10 meter, you know.
Yeah.
I want to practice. I want
Yeah.
to practice.
Yeah.
Would you be with me there?
And another guy will go with you.
I'm gonna die. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
The first jump from the 7 meters was actually already pretty high since I didn't jump for a long time. But after a few jumps, I managed to jump from the highest practice jump. The first one was actually pretty good and I was sure that I'm going to make it from the bridge. Every jump generated differently intense adrenaline rush, which felt so good. The moment just before I jumped down, full of fear and shaky legs. The moment when you release your feet from the ground, the feeling of flying in the air for a second gets triggered. It's a feeling of freedom and an adrenaline rush mix of anxiousness, nervousness, and pure excitement. Once you land it, the only thing you think about is to get quickly back to the top to experience this powerful, undefined feeling again. But that desire should be a turning point. I climbed up the ladder and was so excited to jump again that I neglected the technique and lost the balance during the jump, so that I landed completely wrong. I landed on my lower back, which was so painful that I needed to sit down for a second. But even sitting became a problem. I'm not that guy that quits as soon as it's getting difficult, but in this case, unfortunately, I was forced to. I really didn't want to hurt myself since I had to deal with injuries pretty often lately. Pretty disappointed, although I could upgrade my height of jumping. I really made myself believe that I could do it, which made me more angry with myself. But it's really not that easy if you don't practice on a regular basis.
So, I almost died. It was so painful. The last jump from 70 meters were actually a little bit too high for me. And Ahmed and I decided not to jump today from the bridge. Otherwise, I would break every possible bone I have in my body.
Yeah, it's a dangerous thing to jump if you don't practice a lot. So you have to be very talented to jump.
Emotional damage.
Didn't work today, guys. Just saying. But I graded up my highest jump to 70 meters, so that's an achievement somehow. Yes.
Looking back, I'm actually proud of myself overcoming the fear of jumping. The desire to do something and actually do something are two different things. We all want a lot of things, but we do not act to achieve them. It's like we expect that it's going to happen by itself. The jump cost me a lot of energy after I made myself believe that I could do it. The first action towards the goal is the most important one. In my case, to get dressed and walk out of the apartment. Everything else is going to follow. Even if you fail, as I did, you are going to be still a winner because you showed up. Sometimes the discomfort is necessary in order to feel vivid. What is then keeping you in your comfort zone? Start to take actions. I hope you are doing well, buddy. I wish you all the best. Take care of yourself. Peace be with you.